Thank you for joining me for lesson 199 of Sefer HaMitzvos daily study, or in this case, again, it's a nightly study. Um, so we're still in the midst of talking about Hilchot uh, Taurus, sorry, uh, corpse impurity, Tumas Ames. So this we've covered a lot of things here, talking about the fact that there is such a thing as corpse impurity, that somebody who touches or carries a corpse, or is in even the same covered area as a corpse, that they receive corpse impurity. And so we've talked a lot about that. I want to talk about a little bit more about what happens when you receive corpse impurity. So let's mention vessels. If there's an open vessel that is in the same room, it also receives that corpse impurity. Um, the corpse impurity, like we said, it goes up, straight up, and straight down from the corpse. When it goes straight up, it's hitting the roof, the ohel, the tenting, and then it fills the space underneath the tenting. And more than that, it can actually even spread into the rooms that are adjoining, through doors or through windows, between rooms, etc. And so this is why we mention, like, a hospital. It doesn't just The corpse impurity doesn't just stay in individual rooms. You don't just say, all right, walk down the hall here, walk over here. That's where the Kohanim can go in the hospital. Unfortunately, if they're all connected, that corpse impurity has spread throughout, and there's even more issues than that. But so if there's a vessel that's open in in that area, in that vicinity, that it's going to receive that corpse impurity. All right. So here's a hypothetical. Let's say you are not under a roof, but you have some significant amount of a dead body, and it's in a vessel, and you're carrying it. So, are you receiving corpse impurity? Yes. The vessel is receiving corpse impurity through touching. You're receiving corpse impurity because of carrying. Interesting. If you had a stack of, let's say you had 10 bowls, and you have each of those bowls are within each other, and you have this piece of a dead body. Sorry, we're talking about some gross stuff here, but you have a piece of a dead body in the top bowl. The top bowl will become impure through touching. You will receive corpse impurity because of carrying. Interesting. Now, let's say you have received corpse impurity through any one of these ways. Um, let's say you just came into contact with some other source of impurity, that source of impurity would contaminate you, and generally, most of the time, you're going to be contaminated for one day, and you're going to immerse, and then the sun goes down, and you're good. That's usually the way things are going to go from coming into contact with a source of impurity. However, With death, when you come into contact with a dead body through one of those ways that we talked about, then you are going to be impure for a minimum of 7 days, and that's assuming you're also going to get the ashes of the red heifer to complete your your cleansing, etc. So the impurity that you receive from a dead body is like 7 times more than any other type of impurity that you're getting. And in fact, we have to go this extra step of having the ashes of the red heifer to remove that. All right. So the dead body is known as a grandfather, or the father of a father of impurity, or the source of impurity. Um, each time that is passed on, it goes down. So the source of impurities, kind of like we say King of Kings, like the source of sources of impurities, that is a dead body. Someone who comes into contact with that is a source of impurity. So now anything they touch becomes impure, as if they had come into contact with a dead body. However, they're going to be a step down. They're going to be a first level or first degree source of impurity. Those people are only going to need to immerse that day, and then the sun goes down and they're good. They don't have to go this 7 day period that the person who came into contact with the corpse, they're not going to have that 7 day period. That person who comes into contact with the corpse is an av hatuma, a source of impurity. But as you go down, a step down and step down, that is not going to be the case. And then down to the second level, and that person, to my understanding, can't even biblically pass on the impurity beyond them. So that is, those are some additional thoughts regarding contact with the dead, regarding the laws of the of corpse impurity, and that is positive mitzvah 107. Tomorrow, with God's help, we will do lesson 200, and we're working our way through this. So, with God's help, I'll have something new to discuss with you tomorrow. But we knocked out a whole bunch of those possibilities right now. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way.